So just like all the sprint races with 3 semifinals, the first 2 finishers automatically qualifying through to Saturday's final, then the next 3 fastest times over the 3 semifinals that did not automatically qualify. So if you're not finishing the top 2, you want to dig for the line, because hundredths of a second matter about getting in the final, and it's all about getting in the final. Long hold, Janla came up late, but she got a great start. Janla in the middle of the track wearing the UCLA baby blue. Janla. And now down in lane number 3, that's Marcia Say. Ooh, it's going to be close between Say and Torian at the line. But Janla Enyet-Nyamek, clear winner, 12:71. And the wind is okay. So a new lifetime best for the Belgian hurdler from UCLA. She had a teammate in that race, Celeste Bolzanetti, the freshman from Italy. Also, let's see if we can separate them. Janla clearly ahead, but Torian is going to get second. Absolutely.
Well, Annalise Torian did a really good job of just holding her composure. She's a little bit taller. She has to cut down her stride in between, but she really ran off that last hurdle, secured that second spot. But nice run by Janla there. And what's interesting, Dwight, is when you see a nice smooth hurdle race like that, it doesn't look like the athlete's working very hard. Congratulations, her outstanding time there for the top 3 athletes as well.
And only her coach, Joanna Hayes, has run faster at UCLA than Janla has. That's quite the distinction. And Reggie Torian's daughter, Annalise Torian, ends up with the other automatic qualifying spot. Okay. McCormick with a good start. Scales as well, out fast. It's Scales, and then on that go Wilson, Nico Wilson of Clemson out in lane 8. Now here comes Aaliyah McCormick. It's McCormick. The crowd loves it, and it looks like it might be a Kayla Garrett who ended up with that second automatic qualifier, but Aaliyah McCormick made a move around hurdle 5 or 6 and catapulted herself right into the lead, and the crowd just carried her home. 12:76 for the junior from Oregon, winning the heat. It was a Kayla Garrett, second at 12:93, and Wilson at 12:95.
Well, when you look at Aaliyah McCormick, she doesn't ever seem to get a fantastic start, but she's one of those athletes that can just pick a hurdle and pick a spot in between 2 hurdles and say, this is where I'm going to make separation. And she does that right between hurdles 6 and 7 and just pulls away. And there's Mariana Beebe going down. That's not the first time we've seen her go down this season, but a nice run by the junior from Oregon, and she certainly does not disappoint this home crowd, as she looks grateful to cross the line in first place.
McCormick just 200ths off her lifetime best. Kayla Garrett gets a lifetime best, and Oneka Wilson has to hope that 12:95 holds up as a time qualifier, as the bubble will move down just before this 3rd and final semifinal. Good start for Simpson in 4. Also Tabugbo in 3. Tabugbo. Now here comes Harris. Here comes Covington. It's going to be very close for the 2 top spots. It's Harris and Covington across the line first. Those are your automatic qualifiers. 12:84 for Harris. 12:87 for Covington. Just 100th of a second off of her lifetime best.
Well, I think you can see Habiba Harris. She could feel the pressure. When you see her sprint without the hurdles, you can definitely see that she's got that Jamaican influence there. But here comes Jaya Covington about midway down the straight. She begins to put the pressure on, but a nice job by Jaya getting back down onto the ground. But look at Habiba Harris. She doesn't stress, doesn't get worried at all. That is just not freshman-like to show up in a national championship and have that much composure. A heat victory for the Gator.
So one of the few events we've seen so far where the qualifying time is slower than last year, but those are your 9 qualifiers to finals on Saturday, led by Janla Enyet-Nyamek of UCLA.
So at both of the round 1 locations, East and West, we saw some outstanding running. Shanice Walker of Florida State, she ran 10:98. Samira Moody goes in lane 4, but Mayberry in lane 8, Walker in 5, Moody in 4.
Mayberry winning 4 Big 12 titles this year. An excellent start for Mayberry as well. You can see her with a bow, or that's Samira Moody, I should say. And next to her, Anthea Charlton. Charlton from Florida taking this first heat. A little bit of a surprise. The junior from the Bahamas just shifted gears at about 30 meters. 10.87 with legal wind. That's a huge lifetime best for the junior and a collegiate leader in the heats of the 100 meters here at the NCAA championships.
Well, she came in with a windy personal best of 10.98, but there you see it, that Charlton second from the right. We're expecting this race to go off in the middle of the track with Moody and Walker, but look at Charlton just take over. Certainly we're going to get a chance to see her in the long jump later today, and she's the younger sister of Devin Charlton, the indoor world record holder in the 60-meter hurdles, but both young ladies from the Bahamas. Charlton, we saw her in the finals of the SEC championships, but wow, what a run that was.
She ain't coming back.
A revelation, and now she'll be somebody to really be somebody to contend with. Really be somebody to contend with in the finals.
It's Nick Peterson, the Gators horizontal jumps coach, giving her some advice about how to prepare now for the long jump. That's the fastest semifinal ever run at these championships, faster than Julian Allred, the Olympic champion, ran. There are your top 2 finishers automatically qualifying through. They blew the field away. Charlton and Moody both through automatically to Saturday's final. God Bless out well in lane number 3. It's God Bless dominating. Here comes Bertrand trying to get that second spot, but it is Tima God Bless is going to win it with Bertrand really closing hard. The wind is over the allowable 2.2 meters per second. 10.91 for Tima God Bless, which, oh, they gave it to Bertrand. Okay. They both have the same exact time. That's very, very close. They are both the automatic qualifiers into Saturday's final. 2.2 meters per second of wind, so, and they both run right around that time legal.
And there you see them congratulate each other. But Tima God Bless, we know that she's got a fantastic start. And the part of the race that she has needed to work on all season is the end of the race. There you see Tima God Bless second from the right. Boom, she's up into running position. Leah Bertrand blazing away in the middle of the track. But look at the move that Bertrand makes here at the very end. Tima God Bless needs to continue to hold her posture together. She has a tendency to lean, get a little bit too far forward with the upper body as she gets close to the line instead of hold that running posture. Nice run by both those athletes, dipping under 11 flat.
Well, they are separated by 1/1000th of a second. So I feel better about that. Pretty much a dead heat, but they were both automatic qualifiers into Saturday's final. Victoria Cameron and Jasmine Montgomery will have to wait to see if those times will hold up as time qualifiers with one semifinal remaining. A good start for Jamesia Ford, but a better start for Deja Dufran. Also Brianna Selby of Southern Cal. Here comes Jamesia Ford. She's going to win it. Dufran second. Those are your automatic qualifiers. The wind is legal. 10.87 for Jamesia Ford. She came in with an 11.06 lifetime best. That's a huge lifetime best for the 200-meter sprinter, and it is legal wind.
Well, and also Deja Dufran, she goes under 11 flat for the first time this outdoors season, so a nice run for her as well. But it was Kayla Kay on the outside. That's Kayla Jackson who got a really solid start. Faded just at the end. I was a little thrown off there by the red hair. Jamesia Ford's hair, it moved right before the gun went off, and I thought that might tip off some people. But look at the turnover here by Jamesia Ford. You see this 200-meter strength just take over, absolutely take over, and she just passes people. And this is the way she's looked all season long, the speed coming into play. It's going to be exciting to see her in the 200 meters later tonight.
And she becomes the co-collegiate leader along with Anthea Charlton, who did that in heat number 1. It took 11:06 to make it through to the final. Last year, 11:18. That is the fastest ever at this meet. 3 women of Troy in the final.
But 2 Olympians, in Rosie Effiong and Aaliyah Butler, both on Team USA next to each other, and Yemi John from Team GB, Team Great Britain, out there in lane 7.
Set.
Away in the first of 3 semifinals in the 400 meters. And Butler is out very aggressively in the first 100 meters, making up a stagger on John to her outside. Effiong going with her.
And Coach Carroll said it was hard to convince Aaliyah Butler that she had the ability to do this, but once she managed to do it a couple of times and this really pushed the pace in the first 250 meters, she began to believe in herself and trust the process. And Aaliyah Butler is all about just the process, being present each and every day and seeing the little improvements. There's Rosie Effiong, certainly not going to let Butler get too far away from her.
It's Butler, Effiong, and Leah Liebert of Florida State, who's now fading. John well back. It's Butler and Effiong. Those are your automatic qualifiers. 50-16 for the winner, and there's some wind out there. We can feel it up here in our broadcast position.
Well, Leah Butler qualified at 50-68, but Coach Carroll Smith Gilbert said this is the last check in the box. SEC title, she's made an Olympic team. She wants an NCAA title, and she cruises through easily to the final. Look at the relaxation there by both Rosie Effiong and Aaliyah Butler. Jaws slack, relaxation in the neck and the shoulders.
There's the official results. Butler winning it in 50-16. Rosie Effiong second, automatically through to the final. The bubble is 52-23 with 2 semifinals still to run. So 3 Arkansas Razorbacks in this second semifinal heat. Only 2 can automatically qualify. Masperwewa in lane 5, Brown in 6, and Onojuevo in lane number 7. Reasonably even, with Brown making a move on the backstretch.
Aaliyah Pyatt in there as well. Scenario Butler from Arkansas. And you just see the style of Arkansas runners. They like to push the pace early on.
So the 3 we featured are the 3 that are leading. Onojuevo now into the lead. The fight for second place between Kaylin Brown and Mbaya Masverwewa. It's going to be Onojuevo and Brown, the automatic qualifiers out of heat number 2. .50.31 her winning time. That's a lifetime best for her.
Well, you kind of wondered how she was so far ahead of Kaylin Brown there at the end of that run, but Onojuevo ran a strong second to Leah Butler at the SEC Championships, and here she comes up with a big performance, lifetime personal best. See Kaylin Brown doing what she always does. Whether she's in distress or not, she continues to absolutely look the same. So a nice solid place finish for her. There you see the determination on Ella's face. She comes away with a victory. Nice solid victory there for the LSU Tiger.
So Ella and Kaylin both advancing. Bambayi has to wait to see if that 51.19 will hold up. The bubble is currently 51.40. So there are the lane assignments, with Joseph in 6, Oakley in 7, and Valcourt in 8. Obviously, in Oakley, Georgia needing as many opportunities to score in the finals as possible. Oakley, a transfer from Texas.
Another Arkansas runner there on the far outside in lane 9, Joanna Reed.
Set.
And they're away in the third and final semifinal of the 400 meters. The bubble, 51:40. If you aren't in the top two, you need to run faster than that to get a lane in Saturday's final. Semi Oblad making a move in the middle of that backstretch. And Oakley now making her presence known going into the far turn.
Well, real steady running fire for Dejanay Oakley right there. Sure, she had a 200-meter split time that she was trying to get to, but now Rachel Joseph begins to respond and put the pressure on Oakley to her outside.
Oakley in the lead. Rachel Joseph is there. Those are going to be your top two qualifiers. Oakley's finishing strong.
Quick time.
50:19. That is a lifetime best for Dejanay Oakley, winning this third and final semifinal. Rachel Joseph finishing second. So there are your advancers to final. It took 51:35 this year to get through. And Aaliyah Butler and Dejanay Oakley carrying the hopes of the Georgia Bulldogs team title with the first two times in the 400 semifinals.
But like Nathaniel Ezekiel on the men's side, Savannah Sutherland is the standout here. Certainly the
three semifinals, so same qualification. The first two finishers automatically qualifying to Saturday's final, then the three next fastest times that were not automatic qualifiers. There's a move in lane number 5. No hand went up. She didn't really even get into set. So we'll have to see what the officials decide about that, but she might be disqualified.
Well, that's Kalisha Taylor. It looked like she just fell out of the on your marks position. She fell out of the set position here. She goes up, doesn't, oh, that looks more like a jump than a fall out of that position. Big flinch.
That's likely to be a red card. You know, you work so hard to get to this level. They're giving her a green card is what we're hearing. And that's a breakfast ball. Now you just go, okay, I shouldn't even be running now. Let's make the most of it. Uncertain what kind of disturbance might have been down that the officials were aware of, but we are not. So they will be called to their blocks again, and she gets a new lease on life. There is the favorite, Savannah Sutherland. She was in that final with Sydney McLaughlin, ended up 7th. Easy to see who's in the lead. It's the first, the athlete that goes over the hurdle first is the leader. Very even over that first hurdle. It's Sutherland and Sophia Hines of Kansas State right now. Now Sutherland into the lead. Very aggressive between 4 and 5 into that turn on her pattern.
Well, and Savannah is just a little engine. She never really slows down. She continues with that pace. She continues with that tempo, whether she's hurdling with her right leg or her left leg. Look at her, just the consistency of her stride pattern is what makes her so good.
She only really chopped on the 7th hurdle. The rest of it has been pretty much mechanically flawless, and she wins by a wide margin. 54-13, just a stroll for her. It was Illyria McBride of Vanderbilt down there in lane number 4 who ended up with the 2nd automatic qualifying spot. But just an easy performance, an easy semifinal for the senior from Michigan.
Well, there you see the golden blue of Michigan coming down that back straight, but just look at the tempo in between. Bing, 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 bing. She is an absolute metronome in between those hurdles. And as she gets close to the hurdle, she knows the adjustment she needs to make 3 or 4 strides out. And You see her just eye that hurdle, and she looks like she's really efficient with both hurdle legs. Her right's her more common leg, but she can hurdle with both effectively. And you have to be able to do that in your hurdle in the 400-meter hurdles at this level.
So Savannah Sutherland making it look easy in winning that first semifinal heat. Larry McBride gets the other automatic qualifying spot, and the bubble early on is 57.75, but we have 2 heats remaining.
Howard full of a bunch of hurdlers. David Oliver in heaven there.
Obvious team implications with Michelle Smith from Georgia. Important that she get through and put herself in a position to score points on Saturday. There is Birdow at TCU. Top 2 finishers qualify to Saturday's final automatically. And early on, it's looking like Smith with a good move there in the middle of the track.
Anya Woodruff on the outside there for Howard. She's got out really quick, but a little bit out of control. Saw her really get off balance about that 5th hurdle.
Now here comes Smith into the lead, going into the 8th hurdle. And Birdow now starting to recover a little bit. It is Smith of Georgia, the freshman. Very close for second. Right now it is Woodruff. One final hurdle to go. Woodruff in second now, trying to hang on to that automatic qualifying spot. Will she be able to do so? It looks like she was able to hold off Amelia Birdow for that second automatic qualifier, but Michelle Smith winning the heat in 55.65. And it was Birdow at 56.44. holding on to that second automatic spot.
Well, Michelle Smith is fairly tall. Look at how she navigates these 30-inch hurdles. It just doesn't look like it's anything at all for her to get over these hurdles. Her right leg is her more competent leg, certainly, and she goes to it over the last 2 hurdles. But we saw her run some really outstanding indoor 400-meter races. And here in the outdoor season, she has exceeded expectations.
So separation by thousands between Birdow and Woodruff. Birdow gets the automatic qualifying nod. Woodruff has to hope that time holds up. But that was 1,000th or 2 of a second that made the difference.
Set.
If you aren't first or second in this semifinal, you need to be faster than 56.92 if your time is going to advance to the final. So Garrett ran well in the 100-meter hurdles earlier. Very even here so far. Very close between Garrett and Wilson to her inside. Now Wilson takes over. On the outside, Braylon Baker of Duke also going well, the freshman. Now Tyra Wilson getting more into the mix. And down there in lane 4, Chloe Fair of Harvard also going well on the inside. She's actually in second right now. It is Garrett and Fair, 1 hurdle remaining. Hebron trying to grab that second spot, and she's going to do so. Garrett, then Hebron. They get the automatic qualifier, 55.07 officially for Kayla Garrett, who goes through automatically. And 55.73 for Hebron. There are your advancers to final. It took 56.25 last year, 56.39 this year. Very close to the same. Win can make a big difference in this event. Well, those are top 2 finishers automatically qualified to the final. Very even the first 50 meters. It is going to be Madison White off the turn. Now Tima Godbless chasing. Jasani Carter fading. Madison White. And now it's Jayla Jamison. It's Jayla Jamison going to get the second automatic qualifying spot in front of Tima Godbless. And just like in the 100, Godbless just not being able to close the deal the last quarter of the race.
Well, Jayla Jamison, she led off that 4x1 for the Gamecocks. She got a nice warm-up run early on, but here you see Madison White, and this is what Madison White does really well. She's nice and tall. She stands up tall as she comes off that turn and then just turns it over all the way to the line. Nothing but power there. Certainly different styles between Tina Gobles and Madison White. Look at the control there for the sophomore out of USC.
So White and Jamison automatically through. God bless just misses her lifetime best in third. That's a time that probably should hold up as a time qualifier, but there are 2 semifinals remaining, so she will have to sit those out. A little bit of a disappointment. Jasani Carter at 22.89. She becomes the bubble and most likely will not get through on time.
Set.
Almost sounded like a recall there, but they're off. Montgomery running well. In lane number 6, she comes off the turn first. Montgomery, and it is Davis now making a move on out in lane 8. Montgomery and Davis, and that's how they'll finish. Those are the automatic qualifiers. 22:34 for Jasmine Montgomery with legal win. It's been adjusted to 22:36, so a strong time for her and a personal best for Canondra Davis at 22:45 in second.
Well, look at Jasmine Montgomery. She really pushed that first 80, and so as she comes off the turn, she's got some momentum, and then all she has to do now, as she straightens up, heads down the last 100 here, it's just about turnover. You're not trying to go any faster. You're just trying to not slow down as much as everybody around you. And Jasmine Montgomery, good job. We'll see her in the finals in the half lap tomorrow.
So Montgomery qualifies through automatically. Davis with a lifetime best. Bertrand with a lifetime best to match her 1/1000th of a second victory in the 100. So she'll be in both sprints on Saturday.
Set.
Third and final semifinal of the 200 meters. Ford in 6, Mayberry in 5. Mayberry inside Ford just like she was indoors, but right now Ford dominating as she comes off the turn.
Well, good start by Deja DeFran, and I think she got out, and that pulled Jamesia Ford right along. But look at the control by Jamesia Ford.
It's Ford and DeFran. Those are your automatic qualifiers. 21:98. That's a new collegiate leader for Jamesia Ford with just 0.9 meters per second of tailwind, just about 2 miles per hour at her back, and she goes under 22 seconds in a heat. Deja DeFran 22:20. That is a lifetime best for the Lady Trojan.
Well, last year Mackenzie Long won the 100 meters. She won the 200 meters, and she also was on the team that won the 4x100 meters. Can Jamesia Ford do that again this year for the South Carolina Gamecocks? But look at her make the turn. She just was built for this 200 meters. Look at the turnover. Never slows down. An absolute metronome. Arm action, absolutely beautiful. Nice relaxation in the face and upper body, and so efficient with her arms. She is going to be tough to beat.
Jamesia Ford becomes only the 5th collegian ever to go under 22 seconds in the 200 meters. 21:98 legal. Deja DeFran also with a lifetime best in second. Jasmine Montgomery, you can see 22:59 is what it took to get through this year in the women's 200 meters.